Do you feel like your home is always a battle zone, no matter how hard you try to keep it clean and organized? If so, you're definitely not alone. A cluttered, chaotic space can leave you feeling overwhelmed and stressed, robbing you of the sense of peace that your home should provide. But the truth is, instead of endless cleaning, sometimes all it takes are a few simple changes to make your space feel calmer and more inviting. In this video, I'll share some easy-to-apply decorating and tidying tricks that will help you transform your space into a more organized and soothing environment without spending hours cleaning. I've personally used these tips in my own home, and I noticed the difference in just a few days. These methods are perfect for anyone, especially those feeling overwhelmed, busy, or struggling with mental clutter. And the first tip I'll share is one I wish I knew years ago. It's so simple, but the impact is incredible. Don't miss it. When stress and exhaustion have a tight grip on you, the idea of making a big change or tackling a huge task can feel impossible. But here's the thing, the smallest action can be a game changer. Let's start with one simple thing. I promise this will make a difference you didn't expect. Have you ever felt like the entire day has passed and you still haven't accomplished anything? Just the thought of standing up feels like a huge challenge. Every time you look around, the clutter around you only adds to your fatigue, and you have no idea where to begin. I want you to try something simple but incredibly effective. Take a 15-minute walk. No pressure to run, no need for a workout routine, just a simple walk around the block. The trick is not to have any goal in mind. You don't need to walk fast or far. Just move your body. Breathe in the air and let your mind wander without thinking about your to-do list or the mess inside. Let your feet lead you. I remember days when everything felt like it was collapsing around me. Getting out of bed felt like the hardest thing to do. I looked around and saw a mess that never seemed to end. But then I decided to try the simplest thing, take a 15-minute walk around my neighborhood. I wasn't expecting much, just stepping outside and feeling each step. By the time I came back home, although I still felt tired, I could breathe a little easier, and for the first time that day, I felt like I could do something. And that was the beginning. When everything around you feels out of control, even the smallest act of movement can help reset your mind. It doesn't matter if it's a short walk or a long one. What matters is breaking the mental loop. When you step outside and feel your body moving even just for 15 minutes, you allow yourself a break from the chaos. It's not about achieving anything. It's about giving your brain space to breathe. You stop thinking about the mess, the chores, or everything you still have to do. It's just you outside for a short moment. This simple act doesn't just give your body a chance to recover physically, but it allows your mind to take a breath too. It's an easy way to reduce stress, gain clarity, and feel like you've done something for yourself without the pressure of doing more. Once you've gotten that first bit of relief from your walk, the space around you might begin to feel a little lighter. But don't worry, you don't have to change everything at once. Next, I'll share how you can make your living space feel more cohesive with just a few small, simple changes that you can start today. With these small steps, your space will feel much more comfortable and relaxed, and you'll save time on cleaning as well. However, don't forget that clutter doesn't just exist in your living space. It's also in our minds and in our lives. If you want to declutter not just your room but also the overwhelming feelings from work and everyday life, I have a special video coming up that will help you tackle all that clutter. You definitely won't want to miss it, as it will help you feel lighter and more at ease in every area of your life. Now let's focus on the colors. Have you ever felt like your home is filled with too many colors, making it overwhelming and stressful, leaving you unable to relax? The mix of contrasting colors and cluttered spaces can make everything feel off, and you just don't know where to start to change it. One of the simplest and most effective ways to make your space feel more pleasant is by minimizing color conflicts. To create a harmonious environment, all you need to do is simplify your color palette. Look around and see which items have clashing or overly bright colors, and try moving them to other areas of your home. For instance, a bright sofa might not match with a dark-colored rug, but if you move it to a different room, you might find that the space feels much more pleasant. I remember a time when I looked at my living room and felt genuinely uncomfortable. Everything seemed visually chaotic, and although I loved my items, I could tell they weren't working well together. After removing a few boldly colored objects, I decided to move a very bright rug out of the living room and replace it with a more neutral one. The result: the space felt more open and visually calm. Even though I didn't redo the entire room, just adjusting the color scheme made a huge difference. When you're feeling overwhelmed, a space that is neat and harmonized in terms of color can help reduce that feeling of overload. Colors have a direct impact on our mood and emotions. Just making a small change in how colors are combined can make your living space feel more relaxing and less chaotic, creating a more soothing atmosphere. Next, let's talk about organizing. Once your space feels lighter with just a few tweaks in color, it's time to move on to another simple trick that can help make your space look tidier and more organized, even when you're short on time. Next, let's focus on decluttering. When your home feels like a constant mess, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the thought of cleaning everything at once. The idea of tackling the entire space can feel exhausting. But here's the trick: start small and tackle one area at a time. Instead of thinking you need to clean or organize everything, pick one small, manageable spot. It could be a single surface, a drawer, or even just a few pieces of clothing. Start with something easy like wiping down a counter or organizing a small drawer that's been driving you crazy. The goal here isn't perfection. It's about creating a sense of accomplishment in one small area. When you get that little win, you'll start to build momentum and feel like you can take on the next task. I remember a day when my kitchen counter was completely covered with random items, mail dishes, and even things I had forgotten were there. It seemed like a huge task to tackle, but instead of getting lost in the thought of cleaning the entire kitchen, I decided to start with just clearing off one section of the counter. It took me less than 5 minutes, but the feeling of looking at a small, clean space made me feel like I had control over something. That small win led me to tackle the next section, and before I knew it, the entire counter was clear. It didn't happen all at once, but it was enough to make me feel like I could breathe again. When you're in a state of overwhelm, decluttering in small chunks helps break the mental load. It's easy to feel paralyzed when you think of everything that needs to be done, but focusing on one area, no matter how small, gives you a feeling of progress and control. Each little action builds on the last, and before you know it, you'll start to see a noticeable difference in your space and your mindset. Now, let's move on to another quick fix. After tackling that small area, we can take it a step further with an even simpler yet incredibly effective tip that helps create a more inviting and organized environment in no time. Next, let's talk about organizing your things. Have you ever felt like your home is always cluttered with items and you just don't know where to put them? Small items, whether they're decor or everyday essentials, can sometimes create a chaotic feeling and make your space feel overwhelming. But if you organize them properly, the space will feel much more organized and comfortable. One simple yet highly effective trick is to group your items into a defined area. Instead of letting things scatter all over the place, gather them onto a large tray or a specific surface like a table or shelf. You can group items like decor books or everyday tools together. This way, instead of being scattered throughout the room, your items are organized into one designated area that's neat and easy on the eyes. I tried this trick when I looked at my shelf and saw it covered with little knickknacks, books, small decor pieces, and things I had forgotten about. Before trying this, every time I looked at it, I felt overwhelmed because everything was just laying around without any order. But after grouping everything into a large tray on the shelf, suddenly the space felt much airier and more pleasant. I didn't have to get rid of any items, but just grouping them into one designated area made the space feel much more comfortable. When your space is filled with items but lacks organization, it can make you feel stressed and drained. Grouping small items into one defined area reduces the chaos, making the space feel more organized. Additionally, this creates a simple and quick change without the need to throw anything away, while also preventing you from feeling overwhelmed. Now, when your space is a little tidier, let's explore a very simple tip that can make a big difference in how your home feels, adding warmth and comfort with just a few small items. Next, let's talk about adding warmth to your space. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt relaxed and at ease? That's the power of lighting and small decor items. The truth is, you don't need to overhaul your entire space to make it warm and inviting. A few simple changes can make a huge difference. One easy way to make your space feel cozier is through lighting and small decor items. Don't just rely on overhead lights. Add a few table lamps or floor lamps to create softer, more inviting lighting. The light from these fixtures will make your space feel more comfortable and relaxing. Along with lighting, small items like pillows, candles, or artwork can add personality and create a sense of warmth in the room. I remember a time when my living room looked very plain, nothing special, and it felt kind of cold. After adding a few table lamps with warm light and placing some cute pillows on the sofa, the space completely transformed. It wasn't just about the lighting, but how the small decor items came together to create a comfortable environment. With just a few simple touches, the space felt so much cozier, and I felt so much more relaxed whenever I walked in. Warm lighting and small decor items have a huge impact on how we perceive our space. Sometimes just a soft light or a colorful pillow is enough to make the space feel so much more inviting and comfortable. This simple change can help you feel relaxed and at ease in your own home without needing to make a huge investment. Now that your space feels warmer and more inviting, let's take it a step further with another small change that can make a big difference: a new bedding set. Now let's focus on your bedroom. Your bed is probably the biggest piece of furniture in your bedroom, and yet it can easily be overlooked. But think about this: a fresh bedding set can completely change how your bedroom feels. It's one of the simplest investments you can make to instantly improve the overall vibe of your space. If your bed is covered in mismatched sheets or old, worn-out bedding, it can make the whole room feel chaotic. Switching to a fresh bedding set is a quick and easy way to make a noticeable difference. You don't need to spend a fortune, just choose a set that feels comfortable and is visually appealing. Think about the texture, color, and overall design. A new set of sheets or a duvet can transform your bedroom into a calm and inviting retreat. I remember when I finally replaced my old mismatched bedding. For a long time, I had been using old sheets with faded colors and mismatched pillows. While it was functional, it didn't feel like a place where I wanted to relax after I switched to a new soft bedding set with a color I love. The entire bedroom felt different. It became a place I actually wanted to spend time in. The change wasn't drastic, but the feeling of waking up in a fresh, cozy bed made my whole day feel better. Your bed is the focal point of your bedroom, and it can have a huge impact on how you feel when you walk into the room. A new bedding set doesn't just improve the look of the room, it can improve your mood and help you sleep better. When your bed is inviting, you're more likely to relax and unwind, which is exactly what you need in a space that's meant for rest. Now that your bedroom is feeling cozier, let's move on to one more simple tip that can help you keep your space organized and clutter-free: the 5-item purge. Next, let's focus on clearing out the clutter. There's something incredibly freeing about decluttering, especially when you feel overwhelmed. It's easy to hold on to things because we think we might need them later, but getting rid of just a few items can make a huge difference in your space and your mindset. You don't need to do a massive purge, just start with 5 items. Pick 5 things in your space that you no longer use or need, whether it's a stack of magazines, old clothes, or knickknacks that have piled up. The key is to keep it simple and manageable. Don't overthink it. Start with 5 items and get rid of them. This small act will immediately make your space feel lighter and more organized. The goal is to break the habit of holding on to unnecessary things that can contribute to a sense of overwhelm. One day, I looked around my living room and realized there were things I hadn't touched in months: old magazines, random papers, and a sweater I hadn't worn in forever. Instead of tackling the entire room, I decided to start small and picked 5 items to get rid of. I selected the sweater, 3 magazines, and a few old receipts. It didn't take long and I didn't overthink it. The result, I felt lighter, like I had actually accomplished something. It's amazing how something so simple can change the energy of a room. Decluttering even just a little bit creates a sense of accomplishment. When your space is less cluttered, your mind feels less overwhelmed, and you can focus better. Taking small steps gives you momentum, and before you know it, you'll have cleared much more than just 5 items. The goal is to make a habit of letting go, creating a space that feels peaceful and organized. To wrap up, let's add a final touch to make your space even more polished, upgrading your hardware. Finally, let's refresh your space with small but powerful changes. Sometimes the smallest changes can make the biggest impact in your living space. One of the easiest yet most effective ways to refresh a room is by upgrading your hardware, such as cabinet knobs, drawer pulls, or light fixtures. These details might seem minor, but they can completely change the look and feel of a room. Instead of spending money on expensive furniture, you can start by replacing small hardware items like door handles, light switches, or even light bulbs. These simple updates can make your space look more modern and personal without requiring much time or money. Try replacing an old, outdated cabinet handle with a sleek, stylish one, or swap a plain overhead light with a statement lamp that adds character to the room. Did this when I replaced the cabinet handles in my kitchen. Previously, the handles were plain and didn't match the modern aesthetic I wanted for my kitchen. I decided to switch them out for new minimalist and modern handles that matched the other elements in the room. The result was that my kitchen suddenly looked more polished and cohesive, even though I hadn't replaced any of the big furniture pieces. Upgrading small hardware items helps make your space feel fresher and more modern without requiring a major overhaul. These little details play a big role in making your space feel more stylish and put together. Not only do they improve the look of the room, but they also provide a sense of renewal and excitement every time you walk into that room. With your space now refreshed and more organized, you'll feel much more comfortable. Keep making these small changes and notice how they positively impact your everyday life. So, I've just shared 8 simple ways to keep your home neat and comfortable without the stress and pressure. Every small change can make a big difference in the way your space feels. With these small steps, you'll notice how your space becomes more relaxing and manageable, saving you time and effort when it comes to cleaning. If you want to learn how to declutter each area of your home effectively, this video will help you do that with ease. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get more useful tips because you absolutely deserve a living space that's comfortable and easy to breathe in every day. With these simple changes, your space will feel more organized and comfortable, saving you time and reducing daily stress. But decluttering isn't just about your living space. If you're looking for ways to free your mind and restore calm in your busy life, there's a video coming up that you won't want to miss. It will help you clear not only your physical space, but also the thoughts and emotions that leave you feeling overwhelmed. Make sure to come back tomorrow to watch it. You won't regret it.